Alright, it's Raven aka Nefarious Yordle, and we're playing a blind pick game as Riven. So the hot new page on Riven is to go unsealed spellbook, start out with Ignite, and then later on you can just swap it out to teleport. Pretty clever stuff. That's the advantage of using these statistical aggregation websites like op.gg. You know, it's like, as even Dopa himself has said, like, don't always try to think of things yourself, just use what people have come up with and which has been proven empirically to work. Because you can go off of your own sense of what's strong. Sometimes that does work as well. That can work, right? But most often, what you just want to do is use statistical aggregation, right, as your guideline. And that's just like the ideal way of doing things. Because, you know, it's like there's so many people playing this game that just this kind of convergence on what the best build is much more reliable than what you think is strong, what you just feels strong to you. It has a lot less reliability to it. That can be very biased. Like, if, say, something is strong in laning phase but not as good in team fights. I mean, obviously, when you're laning, you're like, this shit is great. Like, you know, there's a lot of biases that go into that. By the way, let's see what we're up against. Teemo. Alright, Doran Shield it is. That's not a very difficult... I mean... You know, most of the time I'm just going to be regenerating health, right? So it's just most effective. Also blocks some attack damage, I think, right? No, it doesn't. I think that used to be that way, but not anymore. So they removed that. Alright. But yeah, still the restoration of health passively. I like it. To Riven Spellbook. League of Sheeps. Well, they do call me sheep sometimes, but I'm not sure if this is like because I'm a meta slave or something. I guess it does have a decent win rate. But yeah, I mean, what can I say, dude? If he doesn't like it, then, I mean, he's playing Teemo, for God's sake. What is he complaining about? Right? I mean, come on, let's be real here. You're playing Teemo. You have no right to complain about other champions than, you know, when you're playing Teemo. Alright, well, Kha'Zix versus Nidalee. So they do have some pressure on me, but I mean, I can't 1v1 Teemo until level 6 anyway. At level 6, that's gonna be interesting. Like, that's when I want to fight Teemo. Just all in him. Before that time, probably not gonna happen unless Nidalee shows up. Okay. So I'm a bit lucky with the aggro change. Another auto attack for CS, that's fine. Alright, so we're just gonna do this. It's gonna be slow laning phase. Alright, so Teemo probably warded. Okay, I could have stopped that minion with my Q. That's a mistake. Cost me 1 CS. Okay, I thought Nidalee was about to go in, but apparently she wants to invade instead. Well, I'm fine with that. I can't help her, so... Okay, I thought about flashing on the Kha'Zix, but I didn't have my cooldowns up yet. It took like 1 more second. Maybe I could have done it either way, because Teemo blind was down. So Nidalee just straight up suicided into their jungle, essentially. I could probably chase it harder. I have to say, I'm a little bit on the defensive side. I used to be very all-in-ish. Okay. That's at least his flesh gone as well. That's fine. Alright. So, enough to scare him off. I actually couldn't reach that, I think. He has fleet footwork, which is very annoying. Alright. Frame lag is hurting me a little bit, but not too much. I'm working on fixing that this day, after I play 5 league games, that is. So, I could go for a cloth armor. Very special, maybe, but... yeah, I should have probably saved that gold to finish my Youmuu's quicker. But the idea is that I want to get Ninja Tabi against the auto attack, since Teemo's so auto attack based. Oh. Alright, gotta help your jungler out. Very important. See, in a lane like this, you're not gonna get takedowns the regular way. It's all gonna be about the jungler interactions. So you gotta be prepared to help your jungler out, right? So with that invade, I tried to, like, stop Teemo from getting there way earlier, in case that Nidalee survives. And that Teemo takes like 4 seconds to be able to actually kill her. I could have left this in a slow push, since Teemo is not going to pressure something else. If Teemo is going to pressure something else entirely, then obviously I shouldn't let this slow push. I should just hard shove. Right, this works out fine. He's showing a little bit hard, so I'm not going to attack him yet. I'm going to wait with my all-in until a little bit later, when the wave is more neutral than this. And then, even then, we'll have to see if it's still possible, considering these rooms. I can block a lot of damage with my E. That's good. Alright, that apparently hit me. Did not expect that, to be honest. Oh shit. That's a free auto attack. This is the bone zone, where Nidalee is not prepared to help. And I'm just sitting here under my turret. And Kha'Zix's pressure. It's an awkward situation. Essentially, if Nidalee's not prepared to help this out, then they could just wait until they can dive me. Like, they could almost flash on this. Right, I'll just have to concede this on the cannon wave. That's the best moment to do this. Alright. Still ahead in CS, so that's good. If I can avoid shrooms, then I can all in them. That's gonna be all that matters here. Alright. Not very well played. Should have hit my ult earlier. Too bad. Alright. Kha'Zix is bottom. Didn't see if he had red buff, but that's what Nidalee should be looking at, of course. It's gonna be a very hard lane to do anything in. I tried to all-in him, didn't do it entirely appropriately. So this is just gonna be a very hard one to really, you know, crush down on this Teemo. So I guess we'll just have to wait for the mid game. Can't really do much else. Teemo, you know, is heavily underfarmed, so I do have that going for me. But I mean, Teemo, especially with that many flashes burned early on, is such a free gank. I mean, I really do blame the Nidalee for not abusing this more. She's 0-1 and 0. So that means she didn't do anything this entire game. She didn't do Drake. She didn't get any takedowns. She just didn't do anything but farm. Right? And there's been so much action going on here. Finally gets another takedown, that's good. So I'm just trying to hold this Teemo off for as long as I can. But yeah, what can I do? He's just hard shoving, like... I really don't, I don't mind being ignored in top lane. It is the Exodus lane, right? We could literally flash on this. I can't hold this anymore. He's been shoving for the entire 12 minutes. That makes me sad. Yeah, I mean, now she tries to solo him. That might actually work. Apparently not. Good effort. That was very slow reaction by me, but good enough. We could easily dive that, but not if he doesn't want to. Can't argue with your jungler. So we'll see if we can do something in this mid lane. This might extend quite a bit. Can try and take this turret. It's all about that pressure. Right, see if we can help out here. I don't understand, if he had the lantern already, then this was free from the get-go. But he didn't, so I had to flash for the kill. If I wanted to kill, which I really did. That's kind of unlucky, but... On Riven, with these delayed cooldowns, I'm prepared to flash for a kill. It's that simple. Give me more kills, and I will take them with open hands. More gold is always better on a champion like this. On Maokai, no way. Right? No fucking way. I would never do that. But on Riven, sure. What kind of movement pattern is that? So he goes in and then he kites towards the bottom. So I need to reboot as soon as possible, since playing with frame lag on this kind of champion is just tilting as hell. So yeah, I'm not sure if I could play that better with the little inputs that I get. If I have 200 FPS, I can smoothly see the movement patterns. If you only see a few clicks, like, it takes a while for your brain to register where someone's going. I've noticed this with games like Taiko as well, like where you just, even though you have the same readability skill, when you're playing on low FPS, it gets worse. So that's very interesting to me, but that's definitely how that works. I've tested that out, not just in League, but in different kinds of games, so that's just how it works. Loading a little slow, but finally. Instantly step into the fray. They're doing this Drake. Zoe's still mid though. They're all 5. Do a quick little heads count. Alright. Alright. Well, I'm gonna flash out, then I can't do much. Okay. Yeah, make sure that if your teammate makes a mistake, try to tilt them, right? Like, don't be like, oh shit, I fucked up, they fucked up, it's all good. No. Spam missing pings, right? Like, what are you doing? Are you retarded? What are you doing? That's how you communicate with teammates. Also, as a support, make sure to never roll call, or never to shot call anything in the entire game, and just wait for something to go wrong so that you can spam ping people. Right? Don't actually, like, don't make sure not to actually ping people back and say, no, go towards this turret, don't contest this. We already have the Ezreal flash, you can't contest that against a Bard with Hearts to See. No, just don't do that, right? Just wait for them to do something you disagree with. What? Whoops. Fat fingered the 3 when I pressed E. That's not good. GK. My goalkeeper? My GK. What? Jungler isn't even close to that. Girlfriend, maybe? But then the K is so far off. I don't know. Khan? Khan? Who's Khan? I mean, Kha'Zix doesn't have anything, right, of a stopwatch. Unless he sold it, actually. Okay. Yeah, no thank you. Alright. Well, we're still in a decent position after I failed multiple times in a row, but not too happy with my performance. Oh. Where's the Thresh with the exhaust? What? That's a very awkward fight. We should be able to win that, considering we have all team fighting champions, but apparently not. I mean, with Varus, Thresh, and Riven, we should be able to fight people like Kha'Zix and Zemo. I guess the fact that Katarina got a kill before that even started makes it all skewed in their favor. Should be able to do something here. That still got me. What? Oh, hey, she actually got him. No, 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 let's not do that. This is very dangerous. What? Red Smite on a 10 health? That's how you know a jungler is greedy, farm oriented, when you use a Red Smite. Very important cooldown, right? On a 10 health Rift Scuttler, because you're afraid someone would steal it. Like, if I wanted to steal it, I could have already stolen it. But of course she does not know that. She thinks I just accidentally let it live or something, right? Like, no, 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 no. If I wanted it, it would have been gone. Your smite would have been way too late. So, Teemo actually bought a Zz'Rot defensively. Not sure about that. I don't think he can keep up with me. Oh, what? Alright. Did not expect anyone to come top lane other than Teemo, considering he has a Zz'Rot portal there. That's one thing. And considering Drake is up. Shouldn't really matter. We should win this fight easily, but the Zoe's not participating. So they just all got clobbered. Zoe is asking for assistance when all 4 of us are dead. That's very interesting. I don't think any of us are in a position to be of assistance to you when we're in the gray screen. Redemption, but we did not have a redemption. That may be clear. Hello? Thresh? Hello? Like, you have flay, exhaust, hook, W, shield. Maybe use any of them? W is not a shield? Not at the right time. Yes, that 100 health is enough to keep me alive. And I'm here. Flayer backwards. I don't know why he's quoting scores. He's literally 2 and 6. His KDA is now not worse than mine. It's not good. It's just average like mine, right? Like, mine isn't absolutely atrocious and his isn't absolutely atrocious, and he's trying to, like, it's called defensive mechanisms, right? Like when you're put under pressure by someone and you're like, someone's questioning your shit, what? Holy, you're toxic. What? So, because I'm calling you out, I'm not using exhaust or shield, you're gonna mute me. Because 40% damage reduction would not make a difference when I barely died to her last ability. I don't really understand his reasoning here. So, I'm not allowed to call him out on not using his exhaust when he's going in under 3 people, right? Under a peel bot, someone who literally has 4 abilities and 1 summoner, all of which are designed to peel. And I'll use that to save me next time. Like, he's literally using every single ability. But when I barely died to Katarina, So this guy has not muted me, I can tell you that much. So I have no respect for people that will not take any form of criticism, no matter how on point valid it is, and twist it and start like using all their defensive mechanisms, right? The classic, oh, you're an idiot, you're feeding, or your rank is bad, or I'm muting you, or you're retarded, or your champion is like toxic, right? Like, oh, you're a Riven player. There's this whole sort of list of defensive mechanisms, essentially, right? That have nothing to do with any argument that has ever been formed. And they will just like spam them out, right? They have nothing, because obviously whether you use an exhaust or not has nothing to do with your rank, the opponent's rank, your score of the person you're helping out, has nothing to do with, I don't know, any of it, right? It has nothing to do with any of that. But that's the kind of shit people will talk about when trying to defend themselves. It's a very strange phenomenon, right? Like, it's usually things people do who are not intellectually capable of actually, you know, appropriately talking about these things in their proper context, right? Like, I think she had one dagger remaining, and I don't think, like, see, here he's peeling for himself again. Again, you're already dead. They have everything. It's 4v1, but because it's you, you'll try to peel. So I'm trying to explain it to him, like, if you don't see how you're playing this game, how you're constantly peeling for yourself, trying to keep yourself alive, that is not the goal of peeling. And we're not going to win the game off of this anyway, right? Like, so it's very, I mean, it's interesting, although alright. Like, I know that you didn't mute me by both your behavior and the fact I've also stood still while not talking. So, very interesting that some players, they cannot take any form of criticism. So when, say when a Katarina dives on backline and starts like clobbering everyone and we need an exhaust, some people just don't recognize that, right? They're working on other abilities. For example, a lot of Thresh players, for example, they try to throw out a hook. That's kind of the first thing to try to land, right? So when that doesn't work, they go for the next thing, and that's a flay. In the meanwhile, they don't think about the fact, like, I shouldn't try to hook her, I should just exhaust her, and then flay her away. And shield the person with Lantern, who's trying to get killed, under that damage reduction, because obviously it's very hard to break through 150 health shield on top of maybe a heal from an AD carry, on top of, you know, the peel someone has from themselves, when, you know, someone's exhausted. So that can use you know, that can save everyone in a fight like that. But that's not how these people process the game. Their visuals, their sort of visual processing starts with trying to look for a hook, right? That's how they approach the game. They don't layer the kind of responses to certain actions. Like, if Katarina goes in our backline, I exhaust and flay. If the AD carry tries to go for an auto attack and overextend, I try to hook. It's always just anyone who comes in raids, you will get hooked. That's the only layer there is. That's the only procedure they have in their mindset. Like, that's what they're looking for. So you'll see, if I look at the replay, he'll probably have been looking for a hook the entire time, right? And then when he didn't hit that, he's like, okay, I missed it. I guess I can't do anything here. So, gotta give that up for at least a negative attitude, because, you know, I didn't really flame him or anything. I just told him he should have probably tried to save me. So we'll see. We'll see what happened with that. Let's see. I also like that he tried to say that W is not a shield. So these people, usually they do what's called switching. I call it switching. I don't know if there's a formal name for it, but they sort of dodge your argument. So what they do is, let's say they say, shield? I don't have a shield. And then you say, well, your lantern is a shield, isn't it? And then they say, oh, my lantern? That's not a very big shield. It's very subtle, but did you see what just happened? So first, the person is saying, I don't have a shield. And then after that, after you tell them, like after you press them against the facts and they can't deny it, what they do is they changed it to the next thing that denies your point, which is, well, the shield's not very big, right? And then you're like, would have been enough to save me, and then you say, well, it wouldn't have been, right? So that way you can never really, in their mind at least, right? You can never really lose an argument, because you can always just go to the next thing that denies someone's statement, right? Like, you do have a shield. Oh yeah, I do. It's not a very big one, right? So instead of saying, oh yeah, I'm wrong about that, I do have a shield. I could have used it. I wasn't quick enough with that. But I don't think it would have been enough. That would be a very different interaction, right? Like, where you're like, oh, I did make a mistake. I didn't use all of my abilities, even though they were off of cooldown. But I guess that wouldn't have mattered, so I don't think you should solely blame me, right? Very different interaction. But they never do that, right? It's very exceptional. I've never, in maybe hundreds of interactions with people that start quoting scores, quoting ranks, quoting, like, all that kind of irrelevant bullshit, when you've just made a mistake, right? That has nothing to do with what someone else's rank is. That's kind of what people do. They don't really talk about the actual thing that matters in that context, right? Which in this case is, a shield would have saved me, right? So we'll just look at this and see if he could have saved me, because I'm not even sure that he could have saved me. I'm just saying he had multiple abilities up that would have helped me, right? That's what I'm saying. That would have increased the odds, assuming that you don't have perfect damage evaluations, right? So here you can throw a lantern, right? Now, look at this. He walks in, and goes for the hook, right? So he tries to flay hook. So look at this back. So I don't know what rank he is. Let's see. I mean, high silver, low gold. Okay, actually high gold. That does surprise me. Right, for someone this illiterate with the mechanics of the game, I don't really expect that. Because look, you see the Riven being completely hammered by the Riven here. Throw out a lantern, right? Doesn't do that. Walks up. At this point you can hook her, because she has all of her abilities lined up like this. She's not gonna kite towards... She's stunned, by the way. So this would have been a 100% hook. Walks up. So I'm on 350 health. I could use a lantern here, right? So the fact that, like, if you just walk in here and don't do anything, you walk in here, you don't use your lantern, someone's getting hammered, you just completely ignore them, you don't lantern them at all, and then you just use a flay, right, when it's already way too late. In his mind, it's just like, what? I just saved you, right? So let's see how much one of these abilities do. It's 188. $420. So I needed a 100 health shield essentially, right? Because one of these procs does 429 damage. So if I got a shield that does, say, 110 just around that area, that would have indeed saved me. But of course, to him, it's not really relevant. It's more relevant that I criticize him, right? That's more what's the big deal is here. Here, you see the point where his brain just turns up. And his response is, you're feeding, right? That's very interesting. So obviously trying to reason with these people never works, right? But it's very interesting to see how they respond if you do try. So that gives you a little bit of insight into the mind of the inconfident, overreactive, toxic player, right? Right? If you just poke them a little bit, say like, hey, couldn't you have just lanterned me out of that? It's like, right? They just lose their shit, right? Like someone criticized them. That's like the worst thing that can happen to these people. So it's very interesting. Hope you guys learned something from that. I'll see you guys in the next one.